Yo, this is David Sanchez from Havok, and you are listening to Metal Wani.
Hello, David. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's the day going on?
Everything's going well. We just played Portland last night, and we're gonna go to Seattle today.
Wonderful. It's like you guys are on tour 24/7, man. I mean, whenever I try to check your page, I'll get to know, okay, you guys are in tour in South America, Asia. It's just keep on rolling this year.
Yeah, it's insane. In the last 6 months, we've been to every continent but Africa.
I understand. So let's talk about, Unnatural Selection. So while I get into that, let me just, talk about the tour you guys did. You finished Asia, you finished Australia, like you said, except Africa, you visited almost everything, every other country, every other continent. So what was the reception in these areas like, particularly in countries within Asia, which I believe would probably be unexplored territory for the band?
Yeah, it was our first time going over there. The reception was really awesome in a lot of places. Most of the shows over there were really good, and it was a successful trip. Blast seeing all those new places for the first time.
Right. And what about South America? We've heard a lot about how the fans are there and what sort of a crazy response fans give. So how's the experience of exploring Latin American fans?
Well, the rumors are true. The people down there absolutely lose their minds. We had a really good time playing down there, and
was it more like, because whenever we see all these videos on YouTube and we explore these Latin American fans, they are out of this world. I mean, in terms of the aggression and what fans actually are.
Yeah, that's actually true. Everyone there does freak out and lose their mind. They chant songs. They sing all the words. They mosh really hard. And actually, the last time we went to Bogota, Colombia,
right,
fans actually showed up at the airport and were chanting and singing for us when we landed. Like when we were walking out of the airport, they were cheering, chanting, and hooting and hollering. They had a big giant banner greeting us, welcoming us to Colombia. It was really cool.
That's awesome. Now let's move on to Unnatural Selection. Your previous album, Time Is Up, was extremely aggressive, in your face in its entirety. Now, keeping that in mind, was it a conscious decision to have more mid-tempo songs and relaxed moments on Unnatural Selection?
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to have some more mid-tempo parts so we can break up our set a little better, and our set have some more peaks and valleys, so to speak. Okay. So it's not just fast the whole time. We've proven that we can play fast, so
yeah, that's absolutely true.
On for a minute, but I think the next record will probably be as catchy as Unnatural, but probably more angry and aggressive than Time Is Up.
Wonderful. So looks like the work has started. You guys have come up with some tunes.
So far for the next album, we've got a lot of riffs written, but we don't have any entire songs yet. As of now, it's just a matter of arrangement.
Oh, that's awesome. And I believe Unnatural Selection was the last album, from the contractual point with Candlelight?
Yeah, that's right. We will definitely be signing with the new label sometime soon, and should probably look out for an announcement sometime in the next month.
Your roots are clearly in Bay Area thrash metal, and especially, a sound which sounds more like Violence, Death Angel, and early Megadeth, which all had a very audible hardcore punk orientation. How important has hardcore punk been for Havok in terms of the sound you have forged for yourself?
I'm a very big fan of a lot of that stuff, and I love how angry and aggressive and fast it all is.
Right.
And when I first started going to shows, I would go to DIY venues, see punk and metal shows. So
awesome.
punk and hardcore it's definitely a big influence on the way we sound. You can hear it in a lot of songs.
Coming to your vocals, one thing is pretty much evident. When I listen to the song like Waste of Life, many have compared your performance to Dave Mustaine, I mean, a style which I think makes for a good contrast with your otherwise more shouted vocals.
Yeah, the vocals in the Waste of Life are definitely a little more melodic, and people want to say that it sounds like Mustaine. That's fine with me. He's got some really great vocal parts. So
right, and for example, like Living Nightmare or Chasing the Edge display the same rhythmically, intricate and technical riffing style that Mustaine popularized. Now, in light of the same, what are your primary, inspirations, both as a vocalist and a guitarist?
As a guitar player, I'm massive. I love lots of guitar players, of course. But as far as like very influential on my style, I would say Eric Peterson, James Hetfield, and Dave Mustaine and Gary Holt are all pretty big influences on the way that I play. And as far as vocals go, I really love the higher range vocals from Steve Souza from Exodus, Bob Excel from Overkill, Chuck Billy from Testament, Tom Araya,
obviously,
metal singer,
true.
Ever Phil Anselmo on the Cowboys from Hell album.
Oh, awesome. Now, many thrash and extreme metal bands solely rely on the rhythm side of things, which in some cases certainly works, while in some other kind of sounds monotonous. So in light of the same, how important is melody in terms of songwriting and composition for yourself and for the band?
It's practically everything. If you don't have movement in the notes, there's the music sounds real stagnant.
True.
And of course, there's always a time and place for just rocking the shit out of one note and not having tons of key changes. But key changes and melody are necessities in music.
True.
I don't see how they couldn't be, because music is essentially just timing and melody put together.
Absolutely.
If all you have and
that's absolutely true.
It gets kind of boring.
Right, that's true. Now, Havok has been together for nearly a decade, and 3 studio albums, each adding to your popularity. So how does the band feel right now? What at that and at this point of career, where do you feel you guys stand?
I can't speak for everybody, but I know definitely I'm stoked at where we're at right now. We're doing exactly what I dreamed of doing since I started the band, touring all over the world, and often we'll show up in a place for the very first time, and a lot of people already know all the words and know who we are and know the songs and are ready for what's about to come. So it's really, really cool. I'm very happy with where we are now, and every year has gotten better and better over the past 10 years. So awesome. I anticipate the next handful of years is going to be the same way.
Oh, wonderful. Now, you guys are known to be a powerful live band in terms of, setting the stage on fire. So what about playing live? And does it excite you, and what basically appeals to you?
It does excite me. Playing live is definitely the funnest part of the day when we're on tour. And it's one of the funnest things I could ever possibly do with my time.
Superb. And what are your thoughts on the current thrash metal scene? I mean, you have a lot of your friends in Violator, Warbringer, etc. Releasing albums. You guys, everyone is making an impact. So do you think, the genre like thrash metal is pretty much saturated, or there's a lot more to be explored?
I think there's a lot more to be explored. I think, even though there is somewhat of a revival, I don't think it's not like it's that strong, because pop, country, and rap rule the charts.
That's the story, isn't it?
There's always more room for good, fast riffs.
Right.
I'm always an advocate of more heavy.
So is it safe to say that one has to redesign the wheel in thrash metal to make it work?
Not necessarily. I think you just need to write good songs and, make heavy, fast riffs and write good songs. And I think a lot of people would be into that because that's so not prevalent in today's music anymore. A lot of heavy metal today is not what I consider heavy metal. It sounds like a lot of garbage.
So what does David consider as a heavy metal? Which bands are out there that basically, strike you and you're really happy about that?
Today there's a band called Psychosomatic from Sacramento that I really love.
Ooh.
They're amazing. There's also, I really like Vector,
Yep.
Witch Haven. Warbringer, Toxic Holocaust.
Right. So all
there's a
your
new band.
friends.
There's a band called Power Trip from Dallas, Texas. That's really great. Check out.
Their new album was awesome, which they released in 2013.
Yeah, it was so good.
Absolutely.
So yeah, good stuff out right now.
Cool. And what are your thoughts on the crowdfunding thing? Any plans of doing something in the future? Considering your fans are dedicated and are around the world.
We might do something like that to try to raise some money to buy an RV because we need a new vehicle soon. We've been thinking about doing something like that.
Okay, so hopefully in future something like that, maybe.
Yeah, we might be doing something like that pretty soon.
Perfect. And that brings me to the question: when is Havok going to create Havok in India?
I would love to. Hopefully we can do it on our next touring cycle after the next album is out, maybe sometime next year or in 2016.
Well, eagerly looking forward to that. Haven't seen you guys, even most of the thrash bands around the world, but I just hope to see you live at least in the next few years.
Oh, I would love to make it to India. We'll try our hardest to make it over there.
Brilliant. Now, lastly, and while this is the more abstract question, what does thrash metal mean to you?
Thrash metal to me means tight, aggressive, fast, heavy metal.
Brilliant. And what does the inherent spirit behind the genre signify to you, and how do your thoughts on all these translate into Havok's music?
I think thrash is a good way to get out some aggression in a positive way without having to beat somebody up or
Right.
Kick a cat or something ridiculous like that.
Right.
I think music is a great outlet, and thrash metal is my favorite kind of music, and it's what I wanted to play since I was a kid because nothing else compares. Nothing else gets my blood pumping so much.
Awesome.
As a really good riff with a fast drum beat and some angry vocals. Nothing else gets my motor running.
Nothing
just like that.
pumps you up.
That's right. It's like who needs energy drinks when you have thrash metal?
Exactly. Thank you so much, David. We've been floating around trying to figure out the dates, but I'm glad we finally did it.
Right on. Yeah, I'm glad too. Thanks a lot for having me on.